What's up guys, Shouri here, and today we're going to talk about the Stingray. First thing you need to know is it has a charge shot. This is just like a Rochi. You hold the button down and it'll make the damage more and more, and it'll give you voltage. Voltage is applied to enemies. Basically, the amount that you pull back is the amount it'll last, and for the amount of time that people are near that person, it will do damage and kill everyone around them. And here's some examples of voltage. Right here, I end up shooting this person with a charged shot that was pretty good. I get one low behind him, and they all run into each other, and they give me a triple kill while I'm dead. And if you're wondering how it killed the guy that I shot, since it only hurts people around you, I did figure this out. If you shoot someone with it, it'll hurt everyone around them, but every third shot that it hurts someone next to them, it'll hurt them too. So, if you can get them to all hit at the same time, it'll give you a triple kill. And especially use cover. It is very similar to Orochi, but you can weave in and out of stuff, and you can stay alive with very little help, just like I'm doing now. And just use the cover, come out, shoot your shot, and get back behind that pole as fast as you can. Because the biggest thing with this is you do not want to be caught out in the open, and you really want to get a charged shot as high as possible to shoot people with. And the best way to do that without dying is having some form of cover and just knowing where you're at on the map, making sure that you can get to cover if you need to. And it's just really important to know your surroundings with this gun. You're always going to want to have this cover. Right here, I'm using cover to great effect, and I'm able to kill a lot of their team and take very little damage. Right here, we're going to come straight out the gate, and we know where everyone on their team is, and we're going to make sure we have cover from this building that's right next to us, and we're going to have cover from those two rocks on the left, and that's why we're able to get all these kills with taking very little damage, and we're just using cover to as great effect as possible. And that's really all you need to know with this weapon is get that cover and start getting them shots in, because you want to do as good of charge shots as possible. Because that little window, it's not just giving you more damage, it's also making this gun more accurate. The instant shots with this are not as great, and if you can get behind cover like this, you can get a lot of kills without dying, and you can have a lot of charged shots, so your bullets are a lot more accurate. And now we're going to talk about using backup weapons. Backup weapons are huge with this because, honestly, this thing doesn't kill instantly, and you're going to be able to do a lot more with something like an Orion than you're going to ever be able to do with the Stingray, because the Stingray doesn't charge that fast. So if someone's rushing at you and you don't have it charged up all the way, you definitely want to pull out something like an Orion. But if you don't have an Orion, you can use the chopper. If you don't have a chopper, use something like a Joker. Really, any shotgun works. The longer range, the better. So that's why I like to use the Orion, especially because the Orion and this gun together will kill someone instantly. But chopper does work really well. So, like, if you want to use Wasp or something too, you can do that. But if they get up close to you and you don't have it charged up, you definitely want to go to that backup weapon. And you can get a lot more kills doing it that way, and then try to get back behind something and use the charge shot again. Using voltage to know where people are. This is a great tactic and tool to figure out where people are. We just saw that guy take behind the blue bus, and now we know where everyone on their team is. We end up killing two of them. We get the third one to die, and we know where that last one is, so we can go ahead and kill him with our Kingslayer. Using voltage to figure out where people are is just huge. It's kind of like using blood and poison damage, but the only difference is you never shot that person in the first place. So now we know there's even more people, and that's how we can shoot him through that box in the fountain, is because we saw the voltage, and it's just huge to look for that voltage, man. Pay attention to your targets. This one is very important. With this gun, you're going to have a lot of people running away from you, and you're going to be behind stuff all the time. So it's very important to pay attention to what your targets are doing, and some of the biggest things you're going to need to look for are to make sure what they're not doing. If you don't see that target, and you might see, hey, they went to the left, so you go ahead and aim to that left room, and you know that the other guys are going to be over on the right, because that's where you were last shooting them. But knowing what your targets are doing is super important, because if you don't see them, you know they're going to come one of two ways. And so you just know to look over. You just got to pay attention to what they're doing, and it'll help you out a lot. This is pretty much a more accurate way to quick scope instead of just trying to scope in on them. Your best bet is to scope to the side and pull it over on them, because the longer you can charge, the better. If you try to quick scope over their head, it will not hit, because this circle is huge. It's like a machine gun while you're running, and the best thing you can do is charge it up a little bit and then come from the side. It'll help you out much, much more. Alright guys, the best way to kill people, some people think that it is just to do a charge shot and then two point blank shots, but that's not true. The reason it's not true is because of an accuracy problem. Like I had just mentioned, if you just try to quick scope them, it's not going to work. If they are moving and you're moving, it will never hit them. Like, it's like a 60% hit rate, which is not the worst, but it's not something you can rely on. So you definitely want to make a charge shot, because it makes the circle smaller. It will make it a lot easier to hit them, and it does more damage. So the best way to do it is to hit with two charge shots. I know that mathematically it's better and faster to hit with a charge shot and two quick shots, but that's not what you want to do. It's much less accurate that way, and it only works if you're shooting people who are standing still. Alright guys, I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you later.